Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today is a Pokemon Showdown tutorial, a revised one. I did a Pokemon Showdown tutorial a long time ago. It's been a while, and it was not a very good one at all. And 1 month ago with my previous video, I said that I would be doing a revised version. Well, I'm here doing a revised tutorial on Pokemon Showdown. So, if you don't know what Pokemon Showdown is, it's a battle simulator type thing, and you can edit Pokemon and see stats of Pokemon, and it's really useful. So, I know a little bit more about it than I did before, and I think I'm better at it than I was before. So, let's get right into the video. Okay, so the first thing, once you enter, you're going to have this back, or what you're going to do is, before I get into team builder and battling, which are the two main things, I'm going to do some other stuff first, which is the options, so you can make it look the best. If you do not have an account, you're going to have to choose a name, and every time you log in, you're going to have to choose a name. So that's something you're going to have to think about. If you create an account, though, you can have your name saved, which is pretty cool. Now I'm going to go through everything. There's change avatar, which lets you change the picture that you use. I use I got to get to it. It's so far down. But I use Getsus from Pokemon Black and White because Pokemon Black and White are my favorite Pokemon games. So I use Getsus. There is password change. There is change background. You can change to all different types of backgrounds. I use the Charizard's background because it looks the best to me. So then there is another thing, dark mode. It changes everything to dark. This is what it looks like. I use this. I always use dark mode. Disable animations when you're doing battles. It makes you not have to show the animations because some attacks have animations. So disabling them makes battles kind of quicker. Use black and white sprites instead of X and Y models. It will use the Pokemon black and white sprites instead of using the XY ones, like it says. Use modern sprites for past generations. What it does is if you're playing a battle for something like Gen 3, it will use those sprites. But if you have this turned on, then it will use X and Y sprites. But if you have this turned on as well, it will use black and white sprites. So I usually have this on. For this video, however, I'm going to have X and Y sprites instead of black and white sprites. Something to keep in mind, though, is that not all Pokemon have Pokemon Black and White sprites, especially Gen 6 and 7s. They do have a good job, do a good job of making sprites for all of them. Every Pokemon, for what I've seen, has a sprite, even the ones that weren't officially made. But not all of them are animated. Only some of them are actually animated. So if you're going to be using this setting in Gen 7, then you're going to see some not moving sprites, and that's kind of annoying. There's also chat. I haven't used any chat really at all, so yeah, you can do that if you want. I haven't been using chat though. If you do chats, it can increase the experience, maybe. I'm not really sure how that works. I just know about the basic stuff. So I think ladder, what this is it shows rankings. I haven't really looked into that. Watch a battle, it allows you to, like it says, watch a battle. Find a user. Find a user is good for battling a specific person. If you want to battle your friend in Pokemon Showdown, you use find a user and then type in their username, and then you will battle them. Join chat, just more chat features. Now here's the main thing, team builder. I did a really bad job of explaining it last time, so hopefully I'll do way better this time. Okay, so once you enter team builder, it will bring you to all your teams. Now it'll be probably empty if you're just starting off, and you can click new team. Now select a format. You battle using by when you do battles, you will have to select a format for that too. This just shows what it is like. If you have an anything goes team, you select anything goes, which you're probably going to use most of the time. You can do stuff like past generations, but not all of these, though, are actually able to be fought with. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to choose anything goes because that has everything in it. And add Pokemon. So this, it shows you a tier list and the Pokemon themselves to choose. Now, this is really useful because it shows you the Pokemon, its type, its abilities, and all of its stats and its base stat total, or BST. So it also shows you what tier they're in. It's like Mega Rayquaza's AG or Anything Goes, which means it can only be used if you're playing Anything Goes. Anything Goes. So I think it goes from PU, which is the lowest, never used, which is NU, barely used, underused, overused, Uber, and Anything Goes. Only Rayquaza's and Anything Goes, which means he's so powerful that he's banned from Ubers, which is Ubers is more powerful than Overused. Overused is the main gameplay though. So now we got tiers out of the way, let's start to creating Pokemon. So you can just search any Pokemon you want, or you could scroll down the page. It's easier to search, but if you do not know what Pokemon you're going to do, you can just search through here. If you want to choose an Uber Pokemon, if you want to choose overused Pokemon, you can scroll farther down. I'm probably just going to use an overused Pokemon really quick. I'm going to choose Garchomp, he's a good Pokemon. So we have Garchomp, and you can choose items. Now it shows you the popular items, which are items that are used most of the time, and and it shows you their effects. There are some pretty cool ones in here. I'm gonna start their effects soon. Okay, so there are some effects. A Soul Fist. I'm gonna go through the first 5 effects, or the most useful effects in my opinion. So Assault Vest is pretty good. It increases the special defense, but I can only select damaging moves. I don't have many Pokemon that I know this would work on because I'm not a huge competitive Pokemon person, but this can be useful on some Pokemon, especially something like Chansey, but actually no, don't use it on Chansey because of healing skills. Choice Band, which increases the user's attack by 50%, but it can only select the first move it uses. So this is good for something like Garchomp if it uses Earthquake, unless there's flying types. So or preferably Dragon Claw, but there could be fairy types for that too. So, but just if you have a Pokemon that doesn't have something that's immune to it, this is really good. It just allows you to do way more damage. There's Choice Specs, which is Choice Scarf. Oh no, Choice Band. Okay, yeah, Choice Scarf. I went out of order, sorry. Choice Scarf is Choice Band except for speed. And Choice Specs is Choice Band except for special attack. So those are the 3 choice items. There's EVLA, but I don't use it that much unless you have a pre-evolved Pokemon like Chansey. Which increases its defense and special defense by 50%. Now Focus Sash, Leftovers, and Life Orb are pretty good. Focus Sash, if the user's HP is full, holder's HP is full, will survive an attack that will KO it. Of course, Focus Sash, Leftovers, heal 1/16th, and Life Orb does 30% more damage. So that's just basic item stuff, and you can choose an item. Also, I'm sorry that I'm giving tutorials on items that you might know, but I just want to make sure. For Garchomp, I definitely think Choice Band would be one of the strongest. And you could choose abilities. So it shows you all the abilities and what they do. So if Sandstorm's active, Pokemon's evasiveness, that wouldn't be as useful as Rough Skin, which does damage to the enemies if they hurt you. So this is where you can choose move sets. It shows you how much damage they do and what their effects are and what type they are. So you could choose Dragon Claw here for a skill. Also, I made a mistake. There is something you can do that I forgot to mention. Not really made a mistake, but I forgot to mention something. You can sort them by names, by types, and sorting them by types is pretty useful if you're making a monotype team or a team that is only one type. There's also abilities. If you want to use something with huge power, then you could do that. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, you can sort, and that's pretty useful. You can also sort by a stats. So you can't sort items and abilities, but you can also sort moves by types, power. So like the most powerful moves first. So yeah, we're gonna have outrage just for attack. I'm not gonna have dragon claw. I'm just gonna go first here. I kind of made a mistake. Okay, good. So I don't want aerial ice, but okay, I'm gonna select a move set since you know how it works. Okay, I chose a move set. It's not the best in the world. It's outrage, earthquake, rock slide, and shadow claw. So it's not the best move set in the world, but it does work. Now here are EVs and IVs. Even if you don't know how EVs and IVs work, pretty much what it is you have 500 points total. You can give up to 252 points in each stat. So you can sort of increase and change their stats. And there are two types of stats. There are these stats which show a general idea of how strong they are, and these stats which show what they are in game. Like if you had a guard chomp in game and you checked its attack stat, this is what you would see and not this. So if you want a more accurate representation of how powerful something is, use that. So if you look at this, it's 296 now, but if it's fully boosted, it's 359. So it's a more accurate representation. So I'm going to increase speed as well, and I'm going to make, and then this is nature's. You can read all about these. This is also useful if you have a Pokemon in game from like Gen 4, Gen 3, where the natures do not have a glowing thing telling you what it boosts. So can be useful in those generations. I actually used it myself. What we want is adamant because he has no special attacks, so it increases attack and lowers special attack. So that makes Garchomp pretty strong. Also, there's something else as well. There is this right here, which shows what the suggested EVs are for the Pokemon. Just in case you don't want to think something up, you can use this. And then there are IVs. I'm not really big into IVs. I don't really know much about it. But you could just leave them as they are. It's better to have them at 31 though. I'm pretty sure. Unless using hidden power, which you probably don't want to mess with the IVs if you're using hidden power. So now you know how to make a Pokemon. Like we made this Garchomp. And now there's a few more things I didn't mention. There's levels so you can see a more accurate representation of the stats. So you can, and like, yeah, that's good. Then you can also change the gender. I'm going to make it a male Garchomp. And you can change if it's shiny or not. Since this is not a Mega Garchomp, I think shiny Garchomp's pretty cool. So, and that's what it has there. This is pretty cool because with this Pokemon Showdown could be a useful tool if you're or looking at suggested moves and thinking of moves for a competitive Pokemon. It's definitely really useful. And you can change level, of course, to like battle with friends. Like if you're making a custom tournament where you want to make them lower than level 100 and make them different levels, or maybe you just want them to match the levels that you have Pokemon in game, or match your Pokemon levels in game. Like if you're building your Pokemon team in this that you actually have and they're lower than level 100, you can just change their level. So now I think I'm completely done talking about this. Oh, and there's happiness too, which you can change for moves like Return of Frustration. Okay, and nicknaming. I keep missing all this stuff, but you can nickname it, so I'm gonna name it Chomp Chomp. Just because. So you can just name it whatever you want it to be named. So I'm going to make a few more teams, or make a few more Pokemon, and then we're gonna take them to battle. Progress update. I've just added two more Pokemon, Bisharp and Aegislash. These aren't really fully built teams. They're just made to be really quick, but here are the Pokemon. You can see what they are from here. Okay, back to making team. Okay, so I finished my team. It's just really quick. I put a Garchomp, a Bisharp, an Aegislash, a Blaziken, a Zekrom, and a Yveltal. I also, just for the final two Pokemon, added my mascot kind of thing, which is Zekrom, because that's my profile picture, and Zekrom's my favorite Pokemon. And Ethan's profile photo is, at least right now, is Yveltal, so I made a Super Gamer Ethan one. I think I did this in the last one too. But now, that is your team. Also, after you make a team, click Validate. What it does is it means if it's actually allowed to battle, which is very important. Now that you do this, exit, and this is your team. You can also name the team as well by going up here and naming it from there. So what you can also do is go down here, backup, restore your teams, and you can save. I'm not sure exactly if it saves to your account or not, but I do that just to be sure. Now, what you do is here you choose what battle you want to do. Of course, anything goes, and now I'll show all your anything goes teams that you chose earlier. So this is, of course, my team, and I'm going to battle. Okay, so I'm gonna choose this. I might have to pause it if it takes a while. It usually doesn't on anything goes. Okay, so the enemy team. I'm not sure what would work. I don't think it has any flying types. Or yeah, it doesn't have any flying types. So I'm going to send out Garchomp, and it's sent out to Mimikyu. So this is going to be kind of difficult. I'm going to use. I think Shadow Claw is super effective, but I'm not sure if it is on fairy types. I'm not really sure about fairy types type effectiveness, and I think it resists ghosts, so I think I just really made a huge mistake here. Oh, I didn't. Okay, that's good. I do not know the type effectiveness for fairy types because I never really learned it. Some types I don't know the type effectiveness, so I'm sorry about that. But I do know some of them. So send out a Greninja. So I'm forced into Shadow Claw, so I'm pretty much dead, I think. Um, I'm actually doing a lot of damage. Even though it's not my best move, I'm still doing a lot. So, um, I'm gonna send out Caleb L, or just my Zekrom, and I'm going to use, I think Fusion Ball is the 100% accuracy one. I did not know he had Ice Beam. So, and I got Frozen. The one in, I don't know how low chance, and I got Frozen. That's kind of hilarious. I'm gonna send out Aegislash because he can do super effective damage, even though he's probably gonna change Pokemon. So I didn't give this guy King Shield. I gave this guy everything but King Shield. That's not very smart. I'm gonna use Iron Head. So it changed into Dark type and did super effective damage, but I think I'm gonna take it out with Iron Head. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to use Destiny Bond and defeat it. Shadow Claw should take this out though. But I can't because I'm going to lose. Um, can I beat this? I think I can beat it with Bisharp. And I'm not doing very good on this one. So I think knockoff is enough to take it out in one hit. But it switches into Lucario. So I was mainly going for a stab or same type attack bonus, choice band, and knockoff to take him out. But okay, so Bisharp was useless in this game, so a fighting steel type, so I'm going to send out Yveltal because he's a flying type and knows Oblivion Wing. So I should survive whatever he uses and use Oblivion Wing to heal everything back because Oblivion Wing is so good. So Frostlass, I'm not really sure I can do anything. I'm forced to use Oblivion Wing because I'm Specs. This is a special attacker, but it keeps getting freeze. I have barely ever seen much of the freeze effect. I have barely seen any of it. So now I'm going to send in my Blaziken. So I'm going to go for Swords Dance. This is a Swords Dance Protect Speed Boost Blaziken with High Jump Kick and Flare Blitz. So that's what I'm going for with this. So I go Swords Dance. I'm going to go Protect so I can get a double speed as well. And then I will outspeed pretty much the entire team. And I think I can take out the entire team. I'm not too sure because I have double speed. Flare Blitz, Flare Blitz should one shot, but I think I'm going to take a lot of recoil. I only took a bit. I am Life Orb, so I'm probably going to lose. If they have Focus Sash, I have no chance. So this is a water type. High Jump Kick is going to be my best option. But I lose, so that's the battle. So that's how it works. You can choose attacks. Also, I forgot to actually show something. So, I'm going to do a battle. I'm sorry to the person that I'm going to battle because this is just going to be a test. But this is, I'm just going to show the battle interface. Well, they forfeited anyway. But basically, what you can do is you can hold on the Pokemon, tap on them and hold, and then you can see their stats, your Pokemon, and you can see what, like, try if you're using a computer holding your mouse over the enemy Pokemon and your Pokemon, and try holding if you're using phone tapping on them, and you can see their stats and moves, and that's pretty important. So, yeah. And there's also chat. I don't use chat or I use chat kind of a bit, but it's kind of cool. And you can also instant replay, and yeah. So that's pretty much the end of the tutorial. I hope this is way better than my previous tutorial. So I also hope you enjoyed the video, and bye.